Order. Question number 11. Tracey Martin.
Kia ora. To the Deputy Prime Minister, does he consider the flag referendum to be a judicious use of taxpayers' money?
Honourable Bill English.
Mr. Speaker, yes.
Supplementary.
Supplementary question, Tracey Martin.
Does he agree with the Justice Department statement, and I quote, that a factor in the decision to change the flag is whether there are net benefits to change, end quote, and if so, what net benefits has he identified for this expenditure?
Honourable Bill English.
Well, Mr. Speaker, the cost of the referendum is really about involving New Zealanders in what would be a significant change for every New Zealander. It's simply not appropriate to go down the much cheaper road of the government making a decision to change the flag by itself. But I might say there'll probably be more net benefits than some of the other referenda New Zealand has operated. For instance, back in 1997, we spent today's equivalent of $26 million on a single referendum on compulsory super advocated by New Zealand First, and 92% of New Zealanders rejected the change, so that turned out to be a complete waste of $26 million.
Supplementary.
Order. Supplementary question, Tracey Martin.
To the Minister, does he believe that paying flag panel members between $640 and $850 per day worked is a judicious use of taxpayers' money when the average daily wage for the majority of the same taxpayers is just over $200 per day, and if so, why?
That member's a waste of space.
Honourable Bill English.
Mr. Speaker, the members of the flag consideration panel have a pretty important role, and that is to run a design competition to enable the selection of 3 or 4 flags for New Zealanders to vote on. So it's a pretty serious task. The government's not doing it, officials aren't doing it, the flag consideration panel is doing it. Secondly, the member gives a somewhat misleading impression that they're going to be working every day. In fact, for that daily rate, that panel may be working 20 to 25 days out of the next 2 years. And in that context, we will be getting more than our value for money.
Supplementary question, Tracey Martin.
Does he believe that the $25.7 million estimated cost on the flag referendum is a more judicious use of taxpayers' money than rebuilding teaching blocks demolished in 2011 so that Northland College students do not have to continue to have their lessons in corridors, and if so, why?
Honourable Bill English.
Well, Mr. Speaker, the government has, I can inform the member from some knowledge of it, I think the largest education investment program New Zealand has seen for decades, and that's consistently over the last 3 or 4 years. Our investment in modern learning environments has been very substantial, and I would hope that in the case of Northland College, not only can we get their classrooms rebuilt when it's practical, but we can lift the levels of educational achievement in that school, because they're not as high as they should be. So, Mr. Speaker, we are catering to the needs of our schools. With respect to the flag, if you want to have a debate about the flag, then you need to do it properly. That means involving New Zealanders, and that means an expense of $25 million or whatever the number actually is.
Point of order, Tracey Martin.
Mr. Speaker, the question was very succinct. It asked whether the Minister believed that it was the spend was better on a flag or on classrooms, and we got a very long answer, but actually did not answer that specific question.
Order. I don't accept the argument the member's raising. The Minister went through in significant detail the fact that a lot of money was being spent on education, so he answered one part of the question and then went to the importance of the flag debate, and he considered that it was worthwhile having this panel do the work before it went to referendum. Question number 12, Sue Moroney.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.